Hello, beloved. Welcome back. It's time for Family Devotions with Pastor Karen. I hope you're doing well today. As you can tell, I'm out in our Rooted in Faith community garden out at the corner of our church land. And this week on Wednesday, the first seeds for the summer were planted by our dedicated group of gardeners, and I came out and we blessed the garden and blessed the seeds, the soil, the sun, the water, and all the hands and backs and knees, and especially loving hearts who will continue to grow the garden and harvest so many pounds, literally tons of fresh food to share with their neighbors this spring and summer and fall. This is certainly a place where you can get involved if you have an interest in doing that, to help us with one of our vital ministries that serves our neighbors and community. But I was especially thinking about the huge mountain of fresh mulch that was here in the garden before Wednesday. It had been dumped onto the land, and then the volunteers had to shovel that mulch and get it into place in the beds and around the beds so that there would be a good environment for growing all the good food that has been planted and that will grow here. And it took me back to a time when I was the pastor of a church in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I had taken our youth group and another adult youth volunteer out for a great day of service, and we were sent to a YMCA camp on the outskirts of Greensboro. And when we got there, they told us that our job was to take the mulch that had been dumped in a certain area and spread it around the grounds. Well, we got way out into the woods to the location of that mulch, and it was literally 3 huge mountains of mulch, higher than we were even when we were standing up. And there were 5 of us, 3 middle school, high school teenagers, and the other adult and myself, and our 5 shovels. And we worked and we worked and we worked and hardly made a dent in all that mulch, but we did our best. And finally we took a break, and the teenagers especially were pretty discouraged, and we were trying not to show it, but so were the other adult leader and I. It was hot. I think it was in July. It was terribly hot, and we had just worked ourselves to exhaustion. And so we were talking about it and talking about our faith, and we remembered that Jesus said, if you have even faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And we kind of laughed about that and said, boy, we've got mountains here to move, and we've got faith, but we don't have all the people and the strength and the perseverance to get all of these mountains of mulch moved into place. But we decided we would pray about it. We would ask God to help us move the mountains of mulch, that we did have faith that God would provide a way. And we finished our prayer, we finished our water and snacks, and got back to work. And do you know that about 2 minutes later, 3 cars full of other adult volunteers suddenly showed up out of nowhere, and they said, do you need help? We finished our work and we were looking for some place where we could help. And so they got out and they were full of fresh energy, and they had their shovels, and they started digging in with us. And within an hour, we had all 3 of those mountains of mulch completely spread out and put where they needed to be. Wow, that was certainly an answer to prayer, and God was showing us that truly it is true that if we have faith the size of a mustard seed, we can move mountains with God's help and with the help of others. And so as we look at this community garden, it's a pretty big garden, and there will be lots of seedlings coming up and lots of weeding to do, lots of watering to do, lots of tending to all those plants, lots of harvesting and care, and lots of work. But if we know that God is going to help provide all the help that we need throughout the spring, the summer, and the fall, we know that we will be able to produce a mountain of fresh vegetables and food to share with our hungry neighbors who so desperately need that good food, and who need to know even more than the food itself that God is able to move the mountains that are in their lives through the help of others. That's why we grow this garden. And again, if you want to be part of the mountain movers to come and grow the garden, just let us know, and we have great volunteers and leaders who will help you find your place here in the Rooted in Faith garden. The garden also has, though, a prayer garden, I'll call it, prayer stations located throughout the garden, so that you can come and walk those stations and find some wonderful inspiration as you pray for different things in your life, as you pray for different people in the world. And so even if you're not going to come and water or weed or help grow the garden, this place is for you as well, as a place where your faith can grow through walking the prayer stations. Isn't that wonderful? I look forward to seeing what's going to be coming up soon, and I look forward to seeing lots of us working together out in this wonderful garden as we remember that God is able to move mountains if we just have a little bit of faith. I'll see you soon.